Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Bonjour, bon dia, buenos dias, good morning, ohayo gozaimasu, doesn't matter where you are in the world. You are watching STEPHE'S talk show. I'm Steph. Welcome. And today, what's the subject of today? We are joining by a very special guest from the company called Sanka, who provide private jet services as well as luxury travel services in general. This is a leading name in the luxury aviation and bespoke travel experience. Sanka is not just about flying private, it's about redefining the journey itself as well. And I am joined by Anthony Arnaud from Sanka. How are you, Anthony?
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for inviting me to this interview, to this show. It's a pleasure. I'm doing great. We have a great weather here in Geneva, and no, I'm very happy to be here today.
Thank you for you. Thank you for giving me some of your time, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna learn a lot today. And because also it's quite a subject I think that people constantly have questions about. Should we go? How? First of all, how can we travel private, and then should we travel private, and then when they travel private, should we keep going? I mean, there is a lot of things to unfold in this
Yes.
subject. But before we get into this, before we go into Sanka exactly, tell us a little bit more about you and how you get into this industry.
So it's never a linear path, let's say, to enter in luxury aviation. I don't know anyone who wanted as a baby to say, "Hey, I want to fly private and I want to manage this." So myself, I'm French. I'm from south of France. So my goal was to work for Airbus, and I did. I used to work for Airbus for a few years as a procurement manager. And after Airbus, when you are in Airbus, you meet the ACJ team, Airbus Corporate Jet team, who are building private jets for very very rich clients. Um, and after a few years there, I moved to Switzerland and I started my journey as a broker first. And after a few years as a broker, I became one of the partners of Sanka, Sanka, that we have co-created with some of my colleagues who used to be also my friends, and they are still my friends now. And yeah, it's been 3 years, and we are still growing, and the company is expanding, and we are very happy about this.
Great. Tell us. I know you. I mean, I'm French. You're French. Where exactly in France? That would be good to know for our French people who are watching the video.
So I used to work in Toulouse, in south of France. I also work in Paris. I also worked abroad in New York, in Shanghai, and I moved to Switzerland 5 years ago, and I'm based now in Geneva.
Okay. How was Shanghai?
Yeah, Shanghai was great. Shanghai was great. It was not about private jets. It was about hospitality industry. I was like maybe 22 or 23 years old. So it was, let's say, a good start to um, to understand the business, how it works in the international way.
Great. That's so you have a pretty international background already. Just like myself, so I kind of have an idea, but it's also good to share your experience because not everybody has this experience, and it makes them travel mentally, I would say.
Yes.
Anyway, when people think about flying, about private flight, they often imagine pure luxury. So, what does luxury in private aviation really means to you and to Sanka clients?
Well, when we talk about flying private, it's not always about luxury. Sometimes it's also because it's very convenient. Some of our clients are flying private because it's prestige to fly from Paris to Dubai, or sometimes even for with a very simple flight. Miami to St. Barth, for example. It's very simple flight, but you have many commercial flights at the same time. So you always have the question, okay, do I fly commercial or do I fly with a private jet? Or as our client call it, little aircraft. It's always a question here of, okay, I want to save 1 to 3 hours. I want to have my own intimacy. I want to have my chauffeur when I arrive. So there is all this process behind that is a bit about luxury indeed, and especially when we compare in terms of pricing. Usually it's 10, 20, 30 times the price of a commercial flight. But it's also about convenience. I have some of my clients who are business owner, entrepreneur, or sometimes also business representative. And for them, it's much more convenient to fly directly from a tier zone city to another tier zone city, rather to fly. I will take a quick example, for example, but uh, if you compare with France, let's say you cannot fly from Brest to Toulouse. You need to do Brest to Paris, Paris to Toulouse. So it takes hours. It takes almost half a day just to travel. And with a small aircraft, it will be maybe 30 minutes flight. So it's always this question, okay, do I want to save time? Do I want to save energy? Do I need this to increase my business? Yes, this is the type of question we have. And when we have a call with a client, we are always honest, saying, hey, maybe for this type of flight, it would be more relevant to fly commercial. And maybe next time you fly private with us, but yeah, it's always this type of question that we like to ask to our clients.
Yeah, very, very important and convenient. I would like to focus a little bit more about one market that I'm personally very often involved, which is the Caribbean market, um, which still need a lot of improvement in term of in term of flying between islands, even from Miami or getting, I mean, for example, I recently, like right now in Panama, and I do love to go see my family in Guadeloupe, Martinique, those places. And it's definitely like a nightmare, I would say. I mean, it's complicated. It's kind of like triangle game to get to just next door, actually.
Yes.
So is that something I think do you have a lot of requests in this area?
Yes, especially during winter. So we have a lot of requests from an island to another, but usually it's the clients who are coming from the US, from Europe, from the Middle East, who are flying to this region. And after, when they are there, they need the aircraft to go from an island to another. Sometimes they spend 3 weeks, let's say in Bahamas, and they say, okay, let's spend 1 week in I don't know, in Grenada or in a Curacao, for example, just to travel around. Yeah, this is something we have. We rarely have clients who are already there and want to fly from a place to another, um, because again, it's a private jet that we're going to take from a place to another and to bring the private jet there. Plus, after to pay for the flight and after for the repositioning. So there is all this. If you want to do only one flight, sometimes you have to pay for 3 flights, and sometimes it's not very, let's say, relevant to pay so many flights, even if you just fly in one.
That's exactly that's definitely a reality. Where else do you have this type of, I think probably on the other side of the world, which is around maybe French Polynesian or
Yes, we have
area?
some requests to go to French Polynesia. It's not something very common, I would say. It's a few times per year. Usually, it's the same clients flying there every now and then. Usually the people who go there uh, already have their own aircraft.
Yeah.
And also it's very expensive to go there with a private jet because it's 10, 12, 13 hours flight. So again, you have the positioning, repositioning after. Usually you don't have places to park your aircraft on the island, so you have to make the aircraft reposition maybe to Australia or New Zealand. So yeah, it's a lot of let's say hidden cost, hidden cost all along. But sometimes we have this request, yeah, on this side. On the Asian part of the world, is something we still trying to develop. Not
Okay.
very well developed yet, I believe. Maybe because there the clients are not used to it, or when European clients want to go to Cambodia or Thailand, they don't need to fly private to go there. But it's definitely something we're trying to develop with money and all of this.
Yeah, Asian market, I think it's still developing in this area.
Yes.
Luxury services in general, I think, coming from the yachting industry.
Hmm.
I know this is actually an emerging market, and I'm not gonna name my company, but I know Asian market right now is like 50% of their revenue, because they are like the new market, the new rich, they discover luxury, I guess, or something like this. So yeah, perfectly understand the
And if I may, Stephanie, there is a huge link between the yachting industry and the private jet industry. You have a lot of similarities in terms of client types, the place where the people are going. It's the same market as the very luxury housing industry. So the three markets are kind of linked together in terms of
yeah.
pricing, in terms of destination. Just to
Yeah,
just to
so
mention.
that's okay. That's a good point. Okay, so now let's put ourselves in the position of a client. So, can you walk us through the whole experience from the booking to landing? Actually, even before the booking, I mean, how the request comes to you?
Sanka is, let's say, a different company. I don't know if I mentioned it to you last time we had a call, but Sanka means in Japanese the people who are out of the box, the marginals.
I didn't know.
So yeah, we are this type of company where we try to do things a bit differently, just to be relevant on this market, which is very competitive. So we decided to not only create a company to make our client fly private, but we wanted to create a real network of business finders. Today we have more than 40 business finders working with us, and we are, thanks to the business finders, getting new clients every week. We have clients coming from any industry, depending on where the business finders come from. We have business finders working in airports, in hotels, as a concierge in luxury mansions. We have business finders who work in different industry, in the yachting industry, for example, in the travel industry as well. And we get their clients, we get the clients' requests through them, either through our emails, or by a phone, or by WhatsApp. We have a certified WhatsApp channel where all our customer service has access. So this is how it works. A client is going to make a request either through his business finder or through us directly. It doesn't change anything. For us, it's the same. And we are going to, from this request, share it with one, two, three brokers, depending on the complexity of the request. And we will get an offer to the client, sometimes in 1 hour, 2 hours, sometime in half a day. That's the maximum we guarantee. And from this, the client has an offer. He has options, always minimum 3, 4 options on the offer. He's going to select an option, sign a contract, pay the broker directly, and be able to fly. I don't know, the next day, the next week, and that's it.
So you need like what minimum? I mean, the fastest way you can provide the services, I think, is like 2 days.
The fastest we have done is 30 minutes.
So, oh, you get 30 minutes.
Yes, we have done it.
Oh,
It was, let's say, everything was perfect. It was in a perfect world. An aircraft was available at the airport the client was going to. The client was almost at the airport. He said, "Hey, I want to fly from." It was from Paris to Ibiza. We were like, "Okay, how can we do it?" We called Ibiza. We had a slot to be able to have the aircraft land in Ibiza. We had an available aircraft there who was available for 1 day. So, I mean, everything was perfect, and we called only one broker to make sure it was fast and smooth, and the client paid directly through his phone. So it was, very, very easy,
Very smooth.
very smooth, exactly. It's not always the case. Usually we ask minimum 1 day before the flight. But yeah, the more time we have, the better we can prepare. We have the better rate we have also. So yeah.
You mentioned the client pay by on this phone.
Yeah, the clients now they can pay, with Apple Pay.
Okay.
It's a very simple process. They can sign the contract. Everything is done now by phone. They can sign the contract by phone. They can also pay by phone directly. Usually they pay by credit card, so it's instant payment. Some of our clients like to prepay. They do a bank transfer of a certain amount, and we take a part of this amount after each flight. So yeah, because we always need to have the money before the flight. Yeah, in this case, if the client after this doesn't pay or something, we had this experience where we say, oh, the client is very famous, so I'm not going to mention him. Uh, Very famous French singer, and we say, okay, it's not possible that the client isn't going to pay, and they didn't pay. so
No.
so yeah, this is some of the experience you get. You say, okay, for this time,
No.
I will accept the client not to pay before. It was a mistake.
It was a mistake. Okay, I totally get it. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's actually talk about what type of clients are actually the Sanka clients. I know you mentioned some CEOs and entrepreneurs. Tell us more. What celebrities,
Of course, the
government,
celebrities.
maybe
Say it again.
government, maybe.
Yeah, we have governments flying with us. When usually it's not the biggest governments who fly with us. It's not going to be the US government or French government because in terms of process it's too heavy and they have their own aircraft. But for um, a bit less bigger, let's say governments like in Eastern Europe, in South America, in Asia, we are able to make them fly in Middle East as well. Uh, and yeah, for them it's fine. They don't need to have such aircraft or such people waiting for them at the when they land. So it's a bit more flexible and it's easier to work with this type of government. So we have governments. We have, as you mentioned, and I did it before, CEOs, entrepreneurs who are flying all over the world, and we also have, of course, celebrities because they first have the money. Sometimes the flight also paid by the production or by their company, and also it's difficult for any celebrity. I'm going to mention Johnny Depp, for example, to fly in a commercial aircraft because he will have to sign 100 autographs in the aircraft. Even in terms of security for him, it's not fine. So yeah, for this
Yeah.
type of celebrities, they need to have their privacy as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is why they fly private and we help them too.
To be honest, I'm not even sure a commercial flight would accept, even if he asked, because
I
of
don't know.
not only this security, but I think the whole plane can be disturbed pretty easily.
Yes, yes.
Also the staff and everything. So when you have a kind of a celebrity, which is kind of like a disturbing thing to have on a commercial flight, and maybe I'm not sure about this. But yeah, it's good to mention that actually it's good to mention that it is the private flight sector is necessary in certain in
Yeah,
certain
yeah, absolutely. It's also necessary, and even for businessmen, when you are developing your own company, you have meetings everywhere. I know I'm thinking of a big CEO who needs to travel to a country and another. If you go with commercial flights, commercial aircraft, you can maximum have 1, 2 meetings per day. If you fly private, you can have up to 4 or 5 meetings. So it's very different. even in finance, we have people flying in Europe from London to Paris to Zurich to different cities in Germany as well, and they can do all the flights in 2 days. It would take them 1 week to do all the flight and all the meeting if they fly commercial.
Okay, good. Let's put Sanka a little bit more under the spotlight. In a sense when what actually would set Sanka apart from other private flight services in the market?
First thing we wanted to do with Sanka, as I mentioned, we are a network of business finders, so we should be able to find clients for anyone that could be the business model. Maybe that will be the case in a few years from now. But today we are only specialized in private jets. Why? Because most of the partners of Sanka are coming from this industry, and we are specialized in this industry. So how does it work? We are going to get clients, and we are going to have them and show them as a Sanka's client, and come as a big company who is a big business finder for several brokerage companies in Europe. Brokerage companies are co- big companies who have from 100 to thousands of employees, and who also have several brokers inside. For tomorrow, if you go on Google and you can say private jet flight, you will have access to, or you will have advertisement from several brokers in Europe, and you can call them, and you will have a junior uh, broker who is going to take care of your flight. Why junior? Because they will not take the time of senior partners or senior brokers to work on your flight. What we wanted to do is to say, okay, let's contact all of these brokers one by one from all these brokerage companies and see if they are worth our clients and if they are good enough to manage what they are doing. So now we are bringing two things to our clients. We are bringing them the best brokers of the world, because we have done tens, hundreds of interviews from big corporation in the US and Europe mainly, who also have offices in Middle East, in South America, in Africa or in Asia. But the headquarter is always in the US or in Europe, uh, just because today we have this way of working, and because the process are more advanced, let's say, in this continent. And so this is what we're doing. And so the client has access to the best brokers. So he knows he will have the best price, best aircraft, someone who is always available to answer his request or any question he can have before the flight and after the flight as well. And also, second thing is the security, because we're working with big corporations. They are not going to work with Sanka. Sanka, we are a small company, a small business finder group based in Ireland. No, the client would prefer always to work with a safe company with very strong insurances, very strong also how to say way of working and experience. They are all more than the 15 years old. So this is what we are bringing to this market.
Okay, thank you, Anthony. Many of my viewers are world travelers in general. So, what destination are currently most in demand for your private flyers?
So for this summer, it was a lot about Mykonos, Olbia, Ibiza.
Party
Yeah.
people.
Yes, it's a lot of party people in summer. We have a lot of we do a lot of what we call B2C, business to customer, in summer. So it's very funny too. Sometimes we see
Is it
requests
is it
at
in
3
general?
a.m.
Is it
Sorry.
also in general a very much focused European market?
It's because it's small flights, so because we have maybe 80% of our clients who are based in Europe or who are contacting us when they are flying in Europe. So a lot, I would say 75% of our flights are from or in Europe or to Europe. So it's a lot because it's from New York to London. We say, okay, it's European flight. But again, if it's from London to Dubai, again, it's with European usually clients. So we have this way of working with them. It goes pretty well. But yeah, in the winter, for example, we have a lot of requests for people who want to do Miami to Saint Barth. One of the biggest requests also we have all year long is from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, which is a few hours driving road, but this is the biggest flying route in the world.
Okay. All right. So now from an investor perspective, why is now an exciting moment to be looking at the private aviation and luxury travel industry?
What do you mean by an investor? Just to be clear here.
For people who would like to invest in private aviation.
Okay. There is two ways to spend your money in private jets. You can buy a flight, so you can fly from point A to point B, and when you arrive at point B, you have nothing. You are at the destination, but I mean you spent 20, 30, 50,000 USD or euros for your flight, and you get nothing else. Maybe some snacks, but that's it, and a nice experience. But you always also have people who want to invest in private jets and who want to buy aircraft and rent it or use it for their own business. This is something that is has
Sorry.
bless you. That
Thank
has
you.
always been very common, let's say in the US or in Europe. It is getting developed more and more now in Africa, South America, Asia. And yeah, this is something we recommend. The world is changing. You have less and less people who want to say we are flying private, uh, but more that hey, we are using an aircraft today to go and for our company to move around from an office to another. One of the things I like to do is to offer big companies from S&P 500, for example, to say, hey, you have already your own aircraft. They are big, they are fabulous, that's fantastic, but you are flying all over the world with them. Maybe for small flights, it will be relevant to use a broker or to use a Sanka. And usually they like the idea. They know they are going to save money out from this. So this is some of the interesting way to spend the money when you want to fly and fly private in this case.
Okay, so would you say it's something worth to invest
To buy
in?
your own aircraft
Yeah.
is it depends. If you fly every day, or yes, that's
Yeah.
worth
So it
it.
depends how useful is going to
Exactly.
be.
If you don't fly every day, if you fly, let's say, uh, 3 hours per week, because you go to a place and you come back every week, it's not worth it to buy an aircraft. I would recommend in this case maybe more to either buy shares of an aircraft. You can buy, for example, 1 out of 16 shares of an aircraft, and have access to 20, 30, 40 hours per year. Or you can also buy directly a flight, and that's usually the best options if you want to save money.
Okay. So let's carry on a little bit more into that direction in terms of private aviation and the future. How do you see the luxury travel market evolving in 2025 and beyond?
You know, you have the media, you have all this uh, trend in the world to say, hey, we should stop flying. There is no ways we are going to continue in this direction. And I perfectly understand this because it's we have one planet and we want to make the best out of it. Uh, on the other hand, people want more and more to fly private. We have more and more people who say, "Hey, I have some money. I want to go to this place." Or the people I prefer on my side are people who say, "Hey, I have a company. I need to go there. It's for my own business. It's for my development. It's for hiring new people. It's for developing my company." So I'm going to need to go from this point A, place A to place B. And this is for me something that is relevant when we have a world where we need to make a business, we need to evolve, we need to exchange our goods and services. And I think in this case, in very particular case, this is relevant. Again, we've said it before, for celebrities, they have no choice. We cannot say, "Hey, I don't want Johnny Depp to travel from the US to Europe, but I'm going to be the first one to watch his movie at the cinema." You know, it's all of this. The people need to travel. They need to go fast. They need to go from point A to point B. They need sometimes the security that you have with private jet. So yeah, this is something very relevant, and more people are flying private. We did the best year in private aviation. You have companies like Dassault, like Cessna, who are building more and more private jets because there is a demand, and there is a demand. And when there is demand, there is an offer behind, and this is why we exist as well.
That's exactly true. Okay. Before I proceed to our little game, let's close. Let's close. Let's close a little bit more about Sanka by describe its song. If you have to describe Sanka in 3 words, what those words will be?
I would say first, I would say network. Because Sanka is a network of business finders. Second word would be I try to find it in one word. I have it coming in French in my head, but I would say availability because we are always available to answer any question, any request 24/7. So this is where we are, I think, good at. And third word would be it's not a word, but high level of services. It would be
Yeah,
that
that's one of the words. Right?
it's a third big word, let's say. But no, it's just to say that we are bringing the best people of this industry into the hands of the clients. So the clients have directly access to the best brokers, to the best aircraft, the best flight possible in the world. So we wanted to make it more and more safe, more and more, let's say, professional, I would say. And this is the case. So this is why high-end services.
Yes, high-end services. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Sanka in 3 words: network, availability, high-end services.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. All right, let's go next to our hot seat questionnaire with Anthony Arnaud. Um, Before we let you go, we've got our hot seat round. So here we go. It's very simple. Question, answer right away.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
All right. Window seat or easel seat if you ever fly commercial?
Window.
Window. The one city every private traveler should visit at least once.
Paris.
Paris. Okay. What's the most requested in-flight meal or drink?
Tomato juice.
Okay. Okay. Jet you would choose for your own private trip, speed or comfort?
DC-12.
Which one?
DC-12, it's a Swiss aircraft.
Okay. Most luxurious destination Sanka has flown a client to?
French Polynesia.
Where?
French Polynesia.
French Polynesia. Okay. Red eye flight.
Bora
Or
Bora, if I may. Bora Bora.
okay, Bora Bora. We go with this one. Red eye flight or midday flight. What do you prefer?
Midday.
Okay. If Sanka could add one dream service tomorrow, what will it be?
Yachting?
Yachting. Okay. Well, that's possible. The biggest misconception people have about private aviation.
It's only for celebrities.
Okay. You go to your go-to airport outfit: business chic or casual luxury?
Usually business chic.
Favorite part of your job: meeting people, flying, or creating experiences?
Meeting people.
If you could fly anyone, past or present, who would it be?
Okay, good question. Sorry, I need some seconds to answer.
Uh,
There's too many celebrities in the world. Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, that's behind
So,
beside what everything he says or anything. It's just the type of people you want to have in your aircraft, let's say.
but I don't think he's using this, right? Because he's already have it
Yeah,
all.
but he's also using sometimes private jets
Oh,
services
okay. It's
from
sometime
brokers.
external. Okay, all right. Position yourself as a client. Okay, 3 words to describe the Sanka lifestyle as a client.
Okay. Easy, cheap, and excellent.
Easy, cheap, and excellent.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, that's it for our hot seat questionnaire. Thank you very much, Anthony. This is also the end for this interview. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to learn more about Sanka, I will be putting in this video at the bottom once I will publish it, the email address. If you have any questions, just go into this email address. Anyway, thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you everybody for watching. This is STEPHE'S Talk Show, and I'm looking forward to see you to the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.